Why, good day, you beautiful souls. Let's get to it. Surrender, refinement, and alignment. This is a juicy one, purely because we're in this window of time where we've had the cosmic events kind of showing us where we're at. And before we really dive into it, don't forget, give the video a like. And when it comes down to the eclipses, it's always important to know and understand that they serve as markers of time where your awareness is meant to be really fine-tuned to pick up on the subtleties, the patterns, the different themes, and everything that's playing out, because they serve as markers for the next 6 months to 8 months. And considering it was the Lunar New Year, the solar eclipse that went on, and the lunar eclipse that we're going to be having in a few days here is kind of like keep your eye on the prize. Look at all the things that are no longer in alignment and know that when that lunar eclipse hits on the 3rd, it is time to end all of those things that are, I would say, like stagnations, things that are no longer in alignment, that you know yourself aren't leaning into the invitation. So yeah, this is a good one in terms of an opportunity to look within yourself and identify, and also have that encouragement and know that you're supported in whatever it is that you're seeking to let go. So for those that are new to the channel, we like to start off these meditations with 3 alms, and we'll be doing those with every tap of the singing bowl. So every time you hear the bowl ring, you're going to take a nice breath in, and with your exhale, you'll transmute that into a mighty and powerful alm. The key here is to open the mouth, relax the jaw so that A can resonate from the chest. And as you close your mouth, the U and the M will form naturally. So go ahead and get your last few wiggles out. A good little stretch if you need to. We'll take a nice breath in together, in through the nose and out through the mouth. And we'll begin. Give yourself permission to rest. This practice is for you. Allow it to be received with love, with patience, and with openness. So relax the body, drop the mind, and simply be. And as this is a practice of love, ensure that you have a gentle smile on your face and the tip of your tongue is resting ever so softly against the roof of your mouth, allowing each breath to be full from the belly all the way up to the chest. When you hear this final tap of the singing bowl, shift your attention fully to the sound of the bowl as it rings. And as it fades into silence, so too shift your attention, your focus towards that quiet, that calm, the gap in between words, sensations, and happenings. And allow yourself to rest and marinate in that inner stillness. Our entire life is one of refinement. That is the spiritual search. Stripping away what is false, what is temporary, and naturally revealing and leaving what has always been. But we cannot undergo this process of refinement unless we are willing to surrender, to let go. And naturally, that step, that progression, brings us into more and more alignment with not only life itself, but what we were created to be. The themes and the seasons that have been playing out have increased their intensity in order to show and demonstrate, to reveal to us all the things that are no longer in alignment. Yet we must ask ourselves why. Why do we still continue to hold on to things that do not serve us? Why do we refuse to step into the invitations that life is presenting us? When it comes to these aspects of attachment, we can look at it in the sense of magnetic force, or being attracted towards something, or are we being repelled away? Ultimately, we all have this play of forces within our life. And as always, everything boils down to love and appreciation, loving one thing more than the other. So, this is your chance for pause, to simply rest within the movie theater of the mind, to look at experiences these past few months, weeks, days, even, that have shown us what no longer serves us. They may be things we've been doing our entire lives that are being called to stop. And even more so, aspects of our lives that are being called forth to be activated, to be acted upon. Hmm. But as with everything in this world, there is a process of transmutation, a law of exchange that requires each of us to let go of something in order to receive. So, what is that inner sacrifice that must be done? What old parts of you are being called for to be let go and surrendered? Even more interesting is, how has life been always presenting you those invitations of refinement, of stepping up, stepping forward, stepping out, and being what you were created to be? And those many glimmers of hope, of opportunity, when we have acted in such ways, how did it feel? How did it look? How was it experienced? And by all means, if it was a nourishing and positive, uplifting and good experience, we can call that you living in alignment. Mm. Yes, yes, oh yes, my children, know this. The love in which you can receive from life, from my creation, is one that is always present. But as it so operates, your choice of free will, the opportunities that you can either open or close the doors, lies within you, for you are always the bottleneck within your experience. My love is ever waiting. My grace is always here, but you must receive it. If my love and opportunity was a punch, and you're dancing about in this party of life, see it as you covering your cup, refusing to receive my bounty, my plenty, my abundance, my support, my love. And instead, you allow your blood, sweat, and tears to fill the cup. Know that you are wasting time, unnecessarily efforting, as my sweet pal says, when realistically you have me and the forces of the heavens at your back waiting to support you, your team, your angels, your guides, your loved ones waiting eagerly to help you. The most important aspect of surrender is to really allow it to drop. Whether it is understood now, come to know that your surrender is your faith. That act of letting go and jumping into the unknown, that is trust. And if you do not allow yourself to go through that cleansing fire of faith, then I can never refine you into the pureness of what you are already. You were never intended to burden this life alone, to live it alone. You are always guided and supported, crafted to walk in your faith, to move with your trust, to know that you are always supported through my love, through my light, as a guiding force to bring forth change within your experience. When you refuse to work with, you isolate yourself and limit yourself. Evermore is this world increasing its distractions, pulling away from what you were created to be. Every device, every moment in which you absorb yourself into something else, you are consuming, yet I created you to be in my image. You are a creator. Move with that knowing, and you will always be in more alignment with what you were intended to be. Create moments to share, create opportunities to give, create a life that nourishes the spirit within your human beingness. Then everything else will fall into place. But know this, to sacrifice, to give offering, is the simple law of transmutation in this universe. That law of fair exchange. You have to give something up in order to receive. That is always how it has worked. If you seek the warmth of a fire, you must use wood. If you seek to live with nourishing foods, you must cut down the grain. You must kill the animal. Life begets life in this experience, and that is ultimately how energy works. The energies of this world cannot be destroyed. They are merely transmuted and transferred. So too, if you seek to be more of what you were created to be, to strip away the false, you must be willing to let go and move forward from what is attaching you to it. Everything is energy, yet cycles, seasons create inertia. And that is the seemingly difficulty in which you experience. But in truth, it is no different than flicking on the switch of a light. If you truly seek it, if you truly yearn for it. So know this, the energies of love, they are the strongest. Every choice you make in this world is done through love, whether you realize it or not. Spending time with one another, immersed in an activity, all of it comes down to your love. But I challenge you with this question, my children. How much of it is a mindless attachment versus a conscious choice? How much of it is a pattern of old and fear and doubt? And how much of it is a courageous action to step forward and into? My My celestial events is my cosmic clock for you. Know that your time of choice is now. Do not seek gentle lessons or reminders after this next window of opportunity closes. For this is a doorway, a threshold, and the invitation here is for you to step through it. Utilize all that is at your disposal for change, for transformation, for growth, for empowerment, and know that I will be with you with every step and every breath. You simply need to seek me out, and I will guide you through this transformation, that process of refinement. And the more that you strip away, the more that you reveal the beauty in which I created you to be. So know this, you are so loved. You are so supported. Simply do and allow me to show you the blessings of my kingdom. Many of you, especially those listening to this now, were created to step forward, to be witness, to be seen, to radiate, to shine, and to lead. But I cannot exalt you into these positions of influence and opportunity and abundance unless you lead yourself. Mm. Everything comes down to choice. So use your tool and gift of free will wisely. For in the coming days, weeks, and months to come throughout this year, life will continue to accelerate. If you are not grounded within yourself, disciplined within your own being and operation, you will be refined and forcibly stripped away from the things you're holding on to by life. And I do not seek such pain, such tension, such chaos for you, my children. I reward those who lean in from love, who do not need fifth, sixth, seventh challenges, tests, and chances, but those who hear the call after the first misstep and lovingly return home to me. If you are uncertain, ask. If you are in fear, remember this: no shadow can overcome your light. Even the smallest spark can be seen in an abyss of darkness. And I am a light that was always with you. I am the light within you that can never be extinguished. But rest, cultivate, increase your intimacy, that time with me. So all that which gets in the way of that relationship, drop. Let it go. Surrender to it. Allow it to be tossed into the flame as an honorary sacrifice and as a call to action for your new self to emerge. And as that new self comes more pure and clean, my image is reflected upon you even greater. And naturally, you will move in alignment and in tune with life. You are so loved. You are always supported. You are never alone. And I am always here. Mm. Allow yourself to simply rest. Taking note of what resonated within you the most, what was reacted within the most. And allow yourself time just to breathe and receive. And when you hear the next tap of that scene, we'll take a breath in together, in through the nose, and again transmute that breath into a mighty and powerful Om. Allow yourself to take a breath here in through the nose and out through the mouth. Mm. Namaste. I bow the divine within you. Mm. Thank you so much for dropping in. Yeah. It's an important theme, I feel, that doesn't really get enough of a highlight in the spiritual world, and in really like spiritual development and personal development is this aspect of sacrifice and it being understood as a like energetic exchange. Everything in this world requires some type of input in order to receive an output. It may seem very like elementary in a sense, and obviously like that logical component to it, but when it comes to personal change, I think that is one of the most fundamental pieces of it. You can't become something if you're not willing to put in something else. And we only have so many hours in a day. We only have so much energy at our disposal. And although that efficiency can increase, it requires us to ultimately move on and move forward from certain things. You can't expect to have the physical body get in shape unless you're willing to put in the work in your physical exertion or your nutritional input. And it's the same thing with spirituality and your spiritual development. We can't ever expect to have a connection with source if we don't spend time and utilize time. I think that's one of those things that is even ingrained in the English language where we say spend time. We understand on a fundamental level that our time investment is its own currency. And in truth, it's the greatest currency. And so the invitation here is always to look at what life is calling forth from you. What are the things that are no longer growing or prosperous in your life? The things that don't have any type of, I guess you would say, benefit, you know, the stagnation aspect that was spoken upon. What is really being invited by life to just move on from? And this eclipse season has been very, I would say, revealing in that. And also the highs and the lows, the good and the bad for people. Where if you continue to do the things that you know are just getting in the way of what you are being called to do, then it's time to stop. And that lunar eclipse really hits it on the nail on the head in that point. Because you could see the solar eclipse as an aspect of, the actions in the external world. And the lunar is always like that emotional aspect. So it's like, what are the things within yourself that you need to stop? The hesitations, the fears, the doubts. Oh, yeah, thanks. Yeah, in terms of, so that's a great question. So just to reiterate, because I don't think the live chat replays, the solar and the lunar do play different roles. So the question of just like, what do they mean for us? So in the cosmic clock of things, you can think of solar eclipses as kind of like the external show. It is the energy of giving. And when it comes to lunar, it is the aspect of the inner world, the emotional world, and that process of receiving. So all of this kind of plays out in this window of time, serving as kind of like a marker and a marker of all the lessons we're going to be receiving in between those two eclipses from the 17th of February 2026 to March 3rd is kind of all these lessons of things that life is again just giving us the pathway and opportunity, the easy out to let go, to transmute, to heal, to level up. So that's it's kind of like the marker that was mentioned upon earlier, where it was like, we're in this really cool pocket of time that life is kind of giving us all the Easter eggs. And if we're allowing ourselves to actually rest within it, to marinate and to be present, we can get a lot of quote unquote like cheat codes, a lot of, I don't necessarily say shortcuts, but just paths of efficiency. Because ultimately, like, we can't avoid doing work in this world. But what you can do is make sure that that work is no longer straining, effortful, out of alignment, and lean into more of the effortless aspects of things. And just to kind of be clear with alignment, you're in alignment if life is flowing for you. Opportunities, abundance, nourishment, you're always learning and growing. All of those things are alignment. And just because one thing of your life isn't necessarily getting activated, like maybe it's not, for me personally, I'll just speak of my own self. So it's like I have not been a super, super socialite like I have been in the past. But because of that aspect of surrendering the social aspect of kind of going out and mingling, doing all those things, yes, certain opportunities and connections haven't been established or made. But in return, I've utilized that energy for my spiritual connection and my inner nourishment and really building that foundation and relationship with source. And I would say this last year, outside of the first years of like my early awakenings, which are in the spiritual experience playlist, I have had the most spiritual growth I've had in my life. And that aspect of feeling and knowing and my faith and my trust is like so, I will say, like sturdy. It's the foundation has been so established that it's unbreakable, it's unmovable, it's unshakable. And I know that that was one of those things that life was presenting me last year in order to prepare me for this year. Because it's kind of like, I talk about it in the You're the Fire Horse video, but you have yin years and you have yang years, where yin years are more introspective. And you can kind of think of those like odd numbers. And then even numbers are yang years. It's kind of pretty much how it plays out. And yang years are more of the extroverted, where it's like the energy is external. You're meant to be doing a lot more of life. So how everything's really aligned is that, a lot of us are getting called out by life to step up and to step out and to be seen. And a line that really resonated with me was that aspect of those that were created to be witnessed, to lead, to shine, to inspire, to create opportunities, to bridge. Like, this is our year. And this is a year where we really need to utilize these moments of surrender and knowing the process of refinement and alignment, because it is going to be the cheat codes in order for us to just level up like that. It's a year of rapid development. It's a crazy pressure cooker, and there's so much that's going to be going on. But yeah, I feel complete in that. And with that being said, love you. Thanks for dropping in. May the fruit of knowledge offer a seed, and in that seed may your love, will, and intuition give life and nourishment. For a tree shall grow, and in its shade may you find peace, and offer peace to all who ask. Namaste. I battle the divine within you. I love you so much. Thanks for dropping in. I'll see you Wednesday. Got some new things cooking for the rest of this year. It's exciting. I love you. Peace.